what you want, when you want it, where you want it. This is The Mesh.
This podcast is sponsored by Jackson Creative, a custom communication agency located in downtown Hickory, specializing in online content creation. To learn more, visit thejacksoncreative.com. Jackson Creative, we tell your story.
Welcome to a very special episode of Street Circle Drive. I'm Mary Margaret. I got Moose over here.
Hey.
And McNally.
What's up, everyone?
Hey. And you know what? We're going because we're flying solo today. We don't have a guest.
No guest.
Because we wanted to do something a little different. In the past, we've done some experience podcasts.
It's been a while.
It has been. Was our last one Halloween?
It was, yeah.
Okay, so we went on an experience that we want to be able to review and tell you about.
And this was an experience.
And we went for an experience today. So we're just going to get the ball rolling with our experience. And then we're going to talk city information if there's anything that people need to know. And then we're going to talk restaurant review because we got a good one for you today as well. You guys ready?
Oh, I'm ready.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Oh, yeah.
McNally?
Yes.
Why don't you just tell us where we went today?
Okay. For those that are aware or not, axe throwing has become a new craze across the country.
All the cool kids are doing it.
All the cool kids. They're popping up everywhere. You know, the different setups, and some are more in like a bar setting and strip malls. Well, Hickory, we are fortunate enough to have an axe throwing place. It sounds interesting when you say it out loud, but it is in the Patriot Brew Thru on Highway 70 across from CVCC. So in front of the Lowe's Hardware, across from CVCC. It's in an old oil change place, so it makes perfect sense for the Brew Thru part. And we were talking to the owner, Michael, today, and he said he had this extra space, and this was highlighted in the Hickory Daily Record, I guess, a month ago maybe. They did a really good write-up on it. Michael's a veteran. Wanted to open open up a business, and went with the Brew Thru, and then had the extra space and put in lanes for axe throwing. So we figured we would go check that out today because why not?
Well, it's the first Brew Thru in the area.
I remember those from when I was a kid. They had them all down the beach. I never heard about them anywhere else, but they were all, especially North Carolina at least.
The closest one that I know of is in Colby. I mean, Colby's got a big one. They've Western Carolina students.
Oh, I didn't know they had one there. Okay,
they've got one up there, but that's the only one that I've known on this side of the state.
Yeah, most of them are coastal. Yeah.
So, and maybe give a brief explanation of what a Brew Thru is, just in case some Hickory people are not familiar with it.
Yeah. So imagine, this is a perfect example. So oil change spot where they've got the garage door bays. They open up, you go in one way, and you sit there and you park your car inside. You stay in the car, you leave it running, and they've got coolers of everything.
Beer,
ciders,
wine,
sodas, ciders. I mean, so it's not all alcohol, but...
No.
It's beverages. Mm-hmm. And so you could drive through and tell them what you want. They'll ring you up. You don't have to get out of your car. You don't have to turn your car off. And then you're on your way. You just go straight through it, the other side of the bay, and then, head home to safely and responsibly enjoy your beverages. If you want to live on the wild side, you can park and go throw axes.
So, throwing axes
is an experience.
How do you explain it? Like what happened? Tell them about what happened today. Like how did it go down when we first got there?
No, it was also, you go in, and of course, if you want to go throw the axes, there's a waiver to sign because it's just a good idea for them if they want to stay in business to have waivers to sign. So they had lanes set up, and I guess each lane is probably, 3 feet wide by 10 feet long.
Yeah.
They had it, just lightly framed with fencing, chicken wire in between to keep everybody safe. And at the end is wooden, they make them, but essentially it's wooden pallets up on the wall, targeted bullseyes with different points. Uh-huh. So you could do it and just go have fun and throw at the target, or you could really have a competition like you're throwing darts and score points. Mm-hmm. So you're throwing axes, and when we say axes, hatchets, axes, whatever you want to call them, they have multiple sizes, styles. So they had very small ones that were relatively light. Then they went all the way to, they have some outside lanes that we didn't go to probably safe for all of us, where you could throw, I guess they were saying like 3 foot.
Yeah, like full size axes, both single sided and double sided. Like makes me think of like a Viking axe.
Yeah.
So they have run the gamut. There's probably, I don't know, 8 lanes, quote unquote lanes, and it is a lot like bowling. So you would pay, how much was it?
$12.
$12 an hour. So an hour of throwing to rent a lane, and you could do like we had. We were kind of rotating in a lane, throwing the axes. And it was a blast.
Yeah, they let us try several different sizes of axes, so you could kind of get a feel. I kind of feel like each one of us had different ones that we liked.
Yeah.
Though, I mean, you kind of found that one that you really liked and you kept using it.
Right.
There were different throwing techniques. They came over and showed us, like 1 arm, 2 arm, kind of told us the way you should like step with your feet and things like that. Just real brief, and then they kind of leave you alone.
Yeah. I mean, it was a Friday at lunchtime, so it was relatively slow when we were there, especially for the axe.
Yeah.
Throwing, and Michael, the owner, came over and told us the person that checked us in showed us some of the basic techniques.
Yep.
It takes 20 to 30 throws to kind of, stick it the first time, and then after that you kind of get the hang of it, especially like Mary Margaret said, once you kind of figure out, there were some that I couldn't get, but then there were some that I could, after a while, it was very easy. But so yeah, they do a brief lesson, and I'm sure if you had questions, they'd be real quick to respond and help you out with that.
They did have like a little table behind each lane in the backside that you can, there's a chair there you can sit at and watch people, or you can just stand and wait your turn, put a drink on it, whatever it is. And then they also have a little scoreboard type thing, like a laminated, I guess what you call
like a little dry erase.
A dry erase, thank you. That has blocks that they say is for the actual games, which is 10 throws.
10 throws against your friends.
That's right. And every throw, you count what your points were that you landed on the axe throwing. Yep. So we actually did not play a game, but mainly because
we were trying to get the hang of it.
We had to figure out what we were doing. And they do have league night.
That's
they
right.
have an actual league for this.
It did make me think of the old school bowling leagues, like
totally,
where people. I mean, it gets serious. I can only imagine you're throwing axes. You're a little more serious than even bowling.
Yeah. So you
Monday nights.
Monday nights. Yeah, and you throw and that. I mean, I don't know. I think it sounds pretty cool.
He said he has a pretty consistent group of about 9 folks that come right now. So I know he's looking to grow that, and it would be fun.
I think so too. Very clean, open up. They have fans going. It doesn't feel like you're just in a gas station or anything.
No, yeah,
it's
I agree.
Not
at all.
Super clean.
Very clean. The people were very friendly and very helpful. As we said, it's veteran-owned business, so there's lots of military flags hanging up and stuff, which is pretty cool. And as you mentioned, the Brew Thru itself has, I'm just reading here from their description, it says that the Patriot Brew Thru and axe throwing, it's a veteran-owned business dedicated to filling a need in a way that other convenience stores in Hickory don't. They have the products that you would typically go to a convenience store for, but you have the added benefit of a drive-thru, so you don't have to leave your car when you're tired at the end of the day or in a hurry to get to work or avoiding the inclement weather. They offer an online store for free home delivery as well of beer, wine, beverages, energy drinks, snacks, and more.
That's a game changer. They deliver beer to your house?
Yeah.
What?
Yeah.
That's awesome.
So, and it's an online store, and they do have a website that is patriotbrewthru.com, Thru spelled THRU. So patriotbrewthru.com. They do have a Facebook page. And he talked about how he's trying to do some pretty heavy marketing right now just to kind of get the word out.
Especially through Facebook, he said. So definitely
go and like
look
their
them
page.
up. I'm sure that he posts events and things and specials. He mentioned Memorial Day with the axe throwing, how they're going to put some of America's most wanted or most lethal, enemies, so to speak, with having pictures on the ends of the bullseye to throw axes. I thought that was pretty funny. So
a military shout out.
Exactly. I think both he and his wife were veterans too, if I remember from an article in the Hickory Daily Record that ran about a month ago.
Right. Well, which is awesome, and I'm happy to support that. It was a pretty cool experience. I think it'd be fun to go and do with some friends, in the evenings or something, or, if you just wanted a little something different to do, right? I think it's neat. Very unique to the area, pretty cool. I know I've seen some places in like Charlotte tying them onto breweries and just little hangout spots and stuff, which is cool, but good for Hickory for bringing it here. Now, we must say, though, like we said, we signed a waiver.
We did sign a waiver.
And it is safe. It is very safe. I didn't feel, they were giving me a hard time because I had on Birkenstocks today with no closed toe, like it was open toe. So I did have tennis shoes in my car in case they were like, we prefer you don't throw with that. But I had tennis shoes in the car. So, but nobody said anything. And I'm, a grown adult that knows how to move out of the way if an axe is coming my way, right? So I backed up and, I never had a problem.
Right.
Because they do kind of come back.
They come back a little further than I thought, and I know people have seen or heard of something. Like they even mentioned the viral video of some lady where the axe comes flying by.
But they had that on rubber mats.
It was on a rubber mat,
and this is wood here, so it really just like
it's
bounces,
wood for the first couple of feet on the floor, and then the cement concrete. But it really would just slide. It never made it past that fencing, even on sliding.
Yes, so it was. I felt very safe.
Yeah.
Right, Moose. How'd you feel?
I thought it was very safe for about 40 minutes or so. I mean, let's just be honest. We'll just talk about it. I had an accident while we were there.
An accident
while I was there. I wore a loose-fitting, basically it's like a fishing shirt. He gave me a double-headed axe. The axe got caught in the back of my shirt. And on the follow-through, I took about half my lip off. I took a good chunk of my lip off.
Oh, come on.
I took a good chunk of my lip off.
Okay, there you go.
And, so it stung a little bit. But that's it. We're grown adults. We realize the liability. First of all, you were throwing axes. Accidents can happen. That's just the way it is. It was complete user error. It was nothing out of the ordinary for you for like facilities or I'm accident prone as it is. So so Mike, he was like, try this axe out. It had a double head, that had sharp edges on both sides, kind of like a Viking axe. And lo and behold, when I reared it back,
but let me just preface that
it was not your first time.
It was no. We've been throwing
even with that axe we've thrown a few times.
Oh, we've been throwing it for, and
all three of us have.
Right, and I just got done talking smack to McNally. We were just both figuring it out, and I was wearing out the bullseye with this double-headed axe. Well, guess what? I got a little cocky, and I tried to throw it a little harder, and I reached back, and the edge of that thing caught the back of my shirt, and when it came through, it hit the edge of my lip.
It kissed you.
It did. I kissed that thing, and we will be sharing pictures on our comments.
I'm gonna post it everywhere. I'm gonna be doing it.
You don't look any worse.
But
so don't worry about it.
No, absolutely not. And it was user error. It was human error. There's nothing about the facility that caused this. Full disclosure, these guys were nothing but the best and they're pros. But, you're throwing a sharp object at a wooden board. I mean, it can happen, You throw a little alcohol in the mix, good gosh.
I have a hard time watching you talk right now because it's pretty funny.
We've come up with a few nicknames for me. In the
My
last
favorite's
couple hours.
Chunk. Because there's a chunk missing out of your bottom lip.
Yeah.
What about the one
shuffle.
from
Turvold,
yes.
who, if anybody that was an Entourage fan, Johnny Drama, Vince's brother, who was living his glory years of when he started on Viking Quest, his name was Turvold, and just fitting because it was a double-headed. I mean, I do think, and with Moose's beard and everything, I think for a moment there he got caught. He thought he was a Viking for a minute.
Right. When it happened, I didn't even feel it. I felt my shirt rip, and then I tasted blood, and I was like, oh God, I hope I just didn't chunk my whole face off, because those things are sharp. When sharp things hit you, sometimes you don't feel it.
A Viking would have taken it and continued throwing the axe. I just want to
for sure. But at that point, I didn't want to make a mess, and it was just sheer dumb luck is all it was. Like we said, we've been throwing for a good 35, 40 minutes with absolutely no even shred of
danger.
Yeah, no, zero.
I even threw a couple afterwards just to make sure that it didn't kill the mood.
Break the chain.
Yeah, I mean, just me just getting a little cocky and talking smack to McNally. It was the very next throw. It was the very next throw.
Let's let this
lesson learned.
Let that be a lesson to you.
Don't talk trash to McNally.
Oh, and then you get hit in the face with an axe.
Yep. Just saying.
I mean,
and I did throw a bullseye on my next one, so I win.
We laughed. Let's be honest.
No,
we laughed when we knew that.
Yeah,
because you were laughing, going, "Did I just slice my face with an axe?" And it wasn't like, because it clearly looks like you've been in a fight,
right?
Yeah, it looks more like that.
Because it looks like somebody punched your mouth,
right? It looks like I lost. It looks like I lost a fight.
No, you easily could win.
You lost to that axe.
I definitely lost to that axe.
Yeah.
Yeah, you did, because you quit after that.
I did.
And
we all quit. We're like, oh, look at the time.
I mean, if you would have bled profusely at all, we would have just not laughed.
No,
we would have stopped. So it was not
urgent care. I didn't need any of that. I don't think yet, but we'll see.
The owner was very understanding then, and came over and helped and made a quick call to make sure that you didn't need any stitches. And
the funniest part about this story, his wife is a physician's assistant, and he was like, here, do FaceTime with my wife and just see what her professional opinion is. And I stuck my face up to his telephone, and she's like, it looks okay. I think you'll live.
Mm-hmm. Telemedicine.
Yeah.
There you go.
Telemedicine, that's right. So main point of the story is go throw axes at Patriot Brew Thru. Just don't get cocky.
Yeah, don't get cocky. Don't try to throw it really hard. Don't try to
Now, I will say that is right there the truth.
Yeah,
you sit there and think, I got to throw this thing hard so it'll stick in the almost the less force you gave it, and just let the axe take or the hatchet take care of itself.
Let the equipment do the work for you.
You got to have more control.
Yes.
Yeah. So you don't have to throw it very hard, but it is. I mean, I kind of think it was a damn good time.
Oh, it was a good time. Just if you're going to use the double-headed axe, number one, there's probably a slice of my lip still, piece of my lip still on.
Stop it.
Don't wear loose-fitting clothing while trying to throw the double-headed axe. Just don't do it.
Or just don't take the axe all the way back on your hook it on your shirt.
That too.
It wasn't your first rodeo, and you still went for it.
I know, I did. Way to go. Okay.
Well, as a reminder, this is the Patriot Brew Thru and Axe Throwing located at 2663 U.S. Highway 70 Southeast. That is in the Lowe's Hardware parking lot-ish on 70 and right across from the Small Business Center for CVCC. Good times.
Check them out.
Go check them out. Give them
Facebook,
a little bit of business.
Website.
Absolutely.
Go. Honestly, I think the league would be fun.
I think the league would be
awesome.
Awesome time.
Hey, this is Alan from the Foot Candle Films podcast. That's our film review and discussion show that can be found right here on themesh.tv. Be sure to check out our show and all the others by visiting themesh.tv. We
are lucky that we actually have, the owner, right? The founder, the owner of the Patriot Brew Thru and Axe Throwing. Mike.
Yep.
Welcome.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
Absolutely. So this is StreetCircleDrive. So we talk about a lot of things, all things Hickory, and really try to highlight things for people to do, places to go. We always review restaurants as well. And so we wanted to come out and see what this Brew Thru was all about. First of all, because Brew Thru is kind of new to me, at least. I'd seen them, I know what the concept is, but I'd never really been to one, right? So just kick us off and tell us a little bit of background about yourself and why a Brew Thru, first of all. Then we'll get into the axes.
So I'm a military veteran. Me and my wife, we were both Black Hawk pilots in the Army. Nice. And we met in the military out at Fort Rucker in Alabama. And then I went and did a little more service, went to Afghanistan a couple of times, came back, got out of the Army, moved back home, and I actually started a maintenance company, which is located in Claremont, and we do maintenance for the big box stores. And my father-in-law came down to help me with the maintenance. And when we went and visited up in Pennsylvania, they have package stores, is what they're called up there. So we drove through one, and I was like, this is amazing. You can just drive in here and get beer. And so me and him worked together. We were in the same van driving around to jobs when I was first starting this maintenance company. And we got to BSing one day, and I finally was, we finally was like, man, we should just open a brew through, like here in Hickory. Like it would go over awesome. People wouldn't have to get out of their car. You just drive up and we'll throw beer in your car. How awesome is that? And so after about a year and a half, I seen this building, and I was like, man, that would be a perfect brew through. We should do it. And so I went and I asked got the rent, got the lease signed and all that, and it just started coming to fruition after that. We do work for Walgreens, and Walgreens just bought out all those Rite Aids. And so that's actually where we got a lot of our coolers, was out of the Rite Aids that they'd shut down. So we got a steal on all those coolers. And so everything kind of just came together after that pretty quick. But it was slow going with the brew through in the beginning. And I actually asked the beer distributors, just like, man, we're not really selling a lot of beer. And he said, after Christmas until Easter, beer sales just plummet. Like, nobody drinks beer.
Really?
And I guess we opened up on like the 3rd of January, and everybody was on their New Year's resolution kick. And so I was just waiting for everybody to break their resolutions.
Sober January.
Yeah. And it was ridiculous. But we finally got through that part, and we had all that extra room in the back. And me and Becky went down. Becky's my wife. We went down to to Charlotte, and we were in Vegas, and we threw axes. And I was like, my wife was like, we got to do this in the back. And I was like, yes, we do. And so that's how the axe throwing came.
How many lanes do you have?
We have 9. The 2 back ones we could set up and put a third in there to have 10.
Right.
And then we have the 2 outside ones, which is for the big axes.
And you made these?
Yep.
You make them. I mean, you make
we're part of the we're part of the Waddle, which is the World Axe Throwing League.
Waddle.
Yep. And if you Google or go on our website, you'll see that there's a thing for the Waddle. Waddle's actually across the country and in several different other countries as well. And it's a whole league, and that's the governing body over the axe throwing. So there's 2 of them, and we're part of that one. And they actually, when you start the leagues, you track your scores and everything. You send them up. You track it through an app, and then you send them up. And then they have like the U.S. Opens coming up in Iowa.
What?
Yeah, it's a big deal. It's
fancy axes.
Yeah,
right?
That makes the league sound even better. That's
absolutely.
That is
axes,
cool.
Yeah.
The word, is that plural? Axes?
Axi.
Axi.
I'm just kidding.
Yeah,
I'm sure it's axes.
It's axes. Yeah.
Axes. Well, so we talked a little bit about how we have we all had different acts that we liked.
Right.
Tell us maybe a little bit about what there is to offer anyone that comes out there, and what they're gonna, if they've never done this before, which none of us had. How do you make somebody feel comfortable when they get out there?
Well, going through the safety brief, that usually, a lot of people are worried about taking the axe, and when they put it over their head, they think it's going to slip out of their hands and hit somebody. And that's why whenever I got up there and showed you guys, you go ahead and put it over your head, not in a motion, so that way it doesn't slip out of your hands and hit somebody.
You must start with it up there.
Right.
Yeah.
Exactly. And then you're throwing it down a lane, and I mean, that's chain link wire. It's not going to go through that. So, right. But we do have a bunch of different axes. I personally like the bearded axes better. It makes me feel more like a Viking. So
that's what the guy said too.
I have I don't know if y'all saw it, but we have one real big bearded axe. And when you go out to the outside lanes and you throw that at the outside lanes, it makes me feel like I'm in an actual Viking then. So that's pretty.
So what's a bearded axe? What is the difference there?
It's just the shape of the head of the.
Okay.
Yeah, so it's where the blade part is. It's longer than where it actually attaches to the wood handle. So, but yeah,
it felt rustic.
Yeah,
I mean, it was a rustic handle.
Exactly.
That was the one I started crushing after a while.
Yeah,
and it was awesome.
Those are everybody's favorites. The problem is when we first opened it, the bearded axe, everybody wanted to start with the bearded axe. And so they would break in my handles. And so I started out with 20 or 25 bearded axes, and now we have 5. And so now I started everybody off with the yellow-handled axes because they're cheap and they're harder to break. But once you learn how to, and you're starting to sink, and I see that you sink 5 or 10 of them like you guys were doing, that's when I say, okay, here, now you can use the bearded axe. And you don't have broken handles that way. So
nice. So what did you know about axes before starting this business?
I've chopped wood a couple of times. So I really didn't know much. I just knew it was fun. And there's a lot of satisfaction in sinking that axe. And I was like, man, everybody's going to love this. And so far, we haven't had anybody that's walked away that's been like, man, that's just a sucky experience.
That was dumb. No.
So everybody seems to really enjoy it. And the satisfaction of sinking the axe, I think, is the it's
awesome.
Well,
it's the drug. That's what brings you back.
Right.
Like in golf, you always have that one shot that brings you back.
Yeah.
Any of those throw in, you sink the axe, brings you back.
You said it could take around 20 times sometimes before you sink your first one.
Yeah.
Which is true.
It felt awkward at first. I was like, why is this not working?
Absolutely. I was totally expecting to walk up and throw it and be like, and it's in. Maybe not bullseye. But I was thinking
or you hear it and you're like, oh, okay, I just got to throw it harder. And it has nothing to do with it.
And it doesn't. No, it just takes repetition of doing it, I felt like.
And if you switch axes, and that's the other thing, that's why I make everybody start with the yellow-handled axe. So that if you keep switching axes, y'all notice the length of the handles versus the weight of the axe, and all that plays a part into being able to sink that axe. And so if you throw 2 with the yellow-handled axe, and you're like, oh, man, I'm not hitting it, let me go get the bearded axe. And you throw it, and you're not hitting it with that, and then you switch again, you're just going to be all over the chart. You're not going to be able to just go up there and sink. With the exception, he's one of the first people I've ever seen to be able to sink the bearded axe, the first throw that he threw it. So that was...
In his shirt or... sorry, wait, what?
First of all...
What were we talking about?
I have no comment after that. Safety is number one at your spot, man. And hopefully, am I the first person to get hurt at your place?
Oh, yeah.
You've had thousands of throws there, and that's crazy.
Yeah. I bet you we've had probably 100,000 axes thrown there. And
I'm telling you,
all
it takes is accident prone. Moose is accident prone. There's just no doubt about it.
In your defense, I will say I've only let maybe 5 people throw that axe. So,
well, we're 3 of them, so it's still 2 of them.
Yeah,
66% of the folks in here did all right.
But you and I have our mouths intact.
Yeah, actually, 75% of the people in here have thrown that axe. No problem.
Yep.
I don't even know where I messed up. I think I took it back too far.
That's how you cut your shirt.
You got to hook my shirt.
I think you just need to throw shirtless next time.
That's what it is. It's got to be shirtless next time.
Yeah, you just be like
pictures of that.
Just like Putin. Jump up on a horse.
Coming on your horse with your axe.
Throwing that out. Yes. I love it. That's awesome. So tell us about the league and if people are interested in that.
If you're interested in joining the league, you just call up and it's $100 for the league. It's 8 weeks long. 7 weeks will be going head to head with other people, and then on the 8th week we do a tournament, and then basically you're seeded based on how you did throughout the 7 weeks. So it's kind of like the NCAA tournament. You go through, and then at the end you get seeded. So
cool. And it's by yourself. So you're just playing by yourself, right?
Yeah.
In the league. So it's one-on-one against everybody else. Okay.
It's individual right now. We tried this last time to do a team league, but we just didn't get enough teams. We only got 2 teams.
Yeah.
And obviously, going against each other every week.
Right.
But, we were trying to do the teams, and those would be $200 for the 8 weeks.
Okay.
But, you get a lot of throwing time in that. So,
absolutely.
Usually... if you look at it over the course of the 8 weeks, you're paying $100, but you're also getting to throw for about an hour and a half, and you get about as much practice as you could want. Plus, you get 10% off whenever you come outside of league times
to come normal throwing and stuff, and I bet it's just a damn good time. Meeting other people out there just.
Oh yeah,
everybody losing chunks of their lips together. Yeah. Oh, I'm sorry. Wait, that would have been. Mrs. League, we're talking about.
That's just my own personal league. Personal health.
Miss League.
Yeah. No,
we give you a hard time, but it's really it's a really strange feeling, I thought at first, because it's weird to be throwing an axe. I can say I've never chopped wood, but I'm throwing an axe at a wall. Some of them bounce back a little further. You've got beer there. You've got, it's just a unique situation, right? So it's a kind of a new atmosphere, and I'm sure that's totally what the cause of it was.
Of course. And, okay, full disclosure. For my entire life, I have worked around wood with axes, with saws. I'm an Eagle Scout, for goodness sakes. Okay? Like, I've been around the block with axes and sharp objects. But the axe throwing does go against everything that you're taught as a kid. Like, you're not supposed to throw sharp objects at things. So it is that release. It's like, yeah, take that, Dad. And go hard. Dad told me not to throw this. But obviously there is some danger involved.
There's a reason your dad told you not to do that. I don't remember getting that story.
Well, there you go. Maybe that was why he could see the writing on the wall. You're like, he's going to lose a lip doing this one day.
It was fun. I mean, you guys saw. I mean, I threw the first axe, and I threw it, and it didn't stick. I mean, clearly, it did not stick. But just that one throw, I turned around and looked at y'all and said, "Oh, I could do this all day." Right? Just because I could seriously. I mean, there was times you can get up there and you can picture somebody's face in the target. You can have any aggression you want to. I mean, it's a great
hang. I mean, honestly,
totally
tall boys
cool
of Dos Equis and axe throwing, that locked me up for a couple hours easy.
Absolutely. Be home later. See you later. Yeah. Well, so what do you have coming up? Any big plans for it? Any things you want to share with people?
We got Memorial Day coming up, and obviously with me and Becky being veterans, we're going to take Memorial Day off, the actual day. We definitely need to give respect and honor to the folks who have fallen before us. But that weekend, on Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, we're going to have targets so you can come up and kill your favorite terrorist. So we're going to have Osama bin Laden, Saddam Hussein, the leader of ISIS, the Boston Marathon bomber. So we've had these targets made, and they're getting shipped in, and then so you'll be able to come in, pay your money, pick your terrorist, and go head to head. So it should be a good time.
That's brilliant.
I'm pretty excited about it.
Absolutely.
And veterans will get in for $10 and get a free beer. So all you gotta do is show your VA card or your veteran card, and get in for $10 and a free beer. It'll be a free 16-ounce beer. So it should be a good time. And then we're hoping that in June we'll do a kind of a grand opening event. We don't have all the full details about that yet, but we're trying to bring in a NASCAR driver. And then we also sponsor Huffman Family Racing.
Yeah.
And so we have their name we have our name on their race car, and they are in the PDRA circuit. So they'll be up there with the car there and everything. So it should be a good time. We'll probably bring in one of the keg trailers from one of the distributors, and hand out some beer and throw some axes and get to meet a race car driver, and it should be a pretty good time.
Absolutely. Nice. What are the hours on the Brew Thru part?
So the Brew Thru and the axe throwing is open at the same time.
Okay.
We open at 10 a.m. Monday through Saturday, and then on Sundays we open at noon.
Okay.
And then we close at 10 p.m. Monday through Thursday, and then Friday and Saturday we open until midnight, and then Sunday until 8 o'clock.
Okay.
So
7 days a week at some point you are open.
Right, yeah.
And what is the best way for people to keep in touch with you and follow along or get any more info?
You can follow us on Facebook, and then we're pretty responsive on the Facebook Messenger and all that, so you can do that. Or you can call up to the store. You can reserve lanes. Usually when we reserve lanes, we require that you go ahead and pay at least for one lane for one person up front to reserve it. So it's a $12 deposit to reserve a lane typically. Or otherwise, you can just come up there and, just like you guys did, walk in, sign the waiver, and get throwing. Either way, we're pretty flexible. So, and I will say though that to your point about it being awkward and a unique situation. That's one of the reasons, though, that we do try to always have axe coaches around.
Absolutely.
To help you guys out and, to kind of keep an eye on things and see what's going on. That way nobody gets too crazy. And we try to monitor the alcohol intake for people, too. We
Absolutely.
don't, it's our right to cut people off. And and we've done that on occasion, if people start drinking too much, because we're not trying to home that kind of environment. We want to have a good, friendly, fun environment. But
social.
But we don't want people getting out of control. I mean, these are axes.
Clearly, yes. No, and I never once felt like you guys weren't around to where we could get help or whatnot. You've got sort of like a little window even that looks out into the lanes and stuff. I noticed. So, I felt very comfortable in a new situation like that. Yeah, so
I felt safe.
I did. I also did. I felt very safe. We were talking when we were at your spot that this could be like a really good team building event where you could have your business come out and have your employees go rage at some boards and get some aggression out and really bring some rapport to your place of business. And
right. Yeah, and that's the one thing we're going to try to do is start reaching out to some of the factories around here and some of the cable companies and see if they want to do those team building events and offer them discounts to bring groups up there. Because that's really the way that I found out about it was a group that I'm part of. We were down in Charlotte and we went and did it, and just the camaraderie that you get, and again going back to that satisfaction of sinking that first axe, and it's a lot like bowling. When you get a strike, everybody high fives, and that's what we see here. If somebody hits a bullseye or sinks their first axe, I mean, you'll hear a crowd of people yell and scream, and it's pretty awesome. On a Friday
you saw
and Saturday
us out
night.
there today. We, the first times that we each sunk an axe, we started taking selfies.
Yeah.
Right? That was the first thing we did. But because, like you said, it's a really cool feeling, and then you want to do it again and again and again. So I thoroughly enjoyed myself. I definitely will be back.
Good deal. That's Absolutely. What we like to hear.
Yeah.
That's what we're going for.
Well, we thank you for everything. We thank you for your service, first of all, and then we thank you for opening up the Patriot Brew Thru. And we definitely encourage everyone to head out that way and check them out on Facebook, to follow along, and stop by and say hey to Mike while you're there. Thanks for letting us come out there, Mike, and letting us show Moose how it's done.
Yeah, sorry about the mess.
Yeah.
There was no mess.
There was no mess.
Gosh, the drama.
It was all good, and we had a great time. So definitely go check out the Patriot Brew Thru and Axe Throwing. Guaranteed a good time.
Absolutely.
Thank y'all. I appreciate it.
Absolutely. Yeah. Thanks. All right. Hey, what's happening in Hickory right now? Moose, do you know anything?
Oh, there's all kinds of things. There's everything to do in Hickory right now. There's some great events coming up, especially to downtown Hickory, especially in the music scene. I'm just going to go over a few. May 24th, the Hard Hat Series continues with The Moon and You, followed the next Friday by JJ Hips and the Hideaway. That Hard Hat Series is starting to become a really great event in the downtown space. The stage is located, as most of you know, the Union Square is under construction right now. So they're putting the stage in the in the bottom parking lot at the Old Hickory Station, and it's right behind the post office there. So they're going to have live music there every Friday night, 6:30 to 8, with a bunch of really great original artists that Bob Sinclair's putting together. June 7th, Bob is actually going to be there with his band, The Big Deals, followed by June 14th, The Moon Pod, followed by June 21st, the Jacktown Ramblers, and June 28th, Alexa Rose. All those, again, are on Friday night, 6:30 to 8 in the station parking lot, so y'all check that out. We also mentioned it on the last show. Hickory Downtown, in partnership with the Hickory Soup Kitchen, is putting on the City Walk Summer Celebration, and that's going to be June 1st. That event's going to run 4 p.m. to 9 p.m., and that event's going to be held in the parking lot between the Low City Park and the Elks Lodge, with barbecue for sale, bourbon tasting, a bunch of beers for sale. Am I missing anything else? Oh, Hickory Crawdads are going to be there for the kids. It's going to be a really great event. There's 4 different bands that are playing. Sycamore Bones, Tony El Toro Band, Cottle Creek, Scott Moss, $100 Handshakes. They're all going to be there playing an hour set or so. So y'all check that out. Make sure we're going to make that event a great one for the downtown. And, we've got another great event coming in September you need to mark calendars for. There's, just go check out the Hickory Downtown's Facebook, Hickory Downtown's website. We'll have all these events that are available for you, and you can find out everything else about that by taking off to that website and all that good stuff. So
excellent.
Yeah.
Lots of stuff happening. Downtown is open for business.
Downtown is open for business.
Doesn't matter the construction going on. You'll see, I think there's even some locations doing some good specials and deals,
right.
and lots of activity. We recently had the art crawl down there and the Rock the Block, which took place on Trade Alley. And I know there's some buzz about more events happening back there on Trade Alley, especially during the construction and things, which I think is awesome. So definitely be sure to stay in tune with what's happening. I think right now the best bet's probably the Facebook page
right.
and some people sharing from there. So definitely stay in tune with what's happening downtown and get down and enjoy some stuff.
That's right. That Wednesday night event that Mary Margaret was just referencing, that they had a Journey tribute band playing on the top of the parking deck, and it was so well attended. It was huge buzz around downtown. Every chance you get, go downtown and listen to these great acts that we're bringing in, and it's just, we've got a great thing going, and we want you guys to be a part of it.
Absolutely. All right, so we went to something now. I want to ask, is this the first place, restaurant-wise, that we've been that all 3 of us have never been before?
Maybe.
I think it is.
I'd never been to it before.
Yeah, I have not either.
I had not either.
Well, maybe it's the first.
I think
I'd never heard of it before.
Oh, well, there you go. That's a true sign there. So, Moose and I had actually seen this place a while back when we were doing some work out there, and we're curious about it. And so we wanted to find out a little bit more. Went and found out that they did have a Facebook page. We were like, hey, let's add it to our list of places we should go check out. And then told McNally about it. And, of course, McNally's always down for wherever we want to go eat. Doesn't really care. I mean, he really doesn't care. Yeah. But today we went into the Ridgeview community and ate at their restaurant called Boyz Cafe.
That's right.
And I have to be honest, I was pleasantly surprised.
Mm-hmm.
For sure. Yeah.
It was okay. So again, being honest here.
Yeah, set the stage.
We pulled up. We didn't know if it was open or not. But a gentleman came outside to get something out of his car, I believe. And Moose asked him if you guys were open, and he said, yeah, we are. So we said, okay, we're coming in to eat lunch. He said, all right. So we get in there, and it was just him, and that was John Boy.
It was John Boy.
We asked him, and he said, yeah, that's me. There was nobody else in there.
We went late.
We were there. We did go late.
Late.
We were there at like after 1 o'clock. So, who knows? But a very kind of arcade-ish feel, right? Like the downtown arcade where it was where there was a counter up there where the grill was behind it, full grill type stuff, and then pool table in the back, a couple of TVs hanging up, playing some sports channels and whatnot, and then just a bunch of tables.
Yep. Cinder block building.
Absolutely.
Green sign on the front.
One sign up front.
Right.
Gravel parking lot on the side.
Yeah, for sure. Like when you pull up, it doesn't look like anything. You're like, like you said, is this place open? But man, you get in there and you're like, you get ready to order food. You're like, oh, this place is going to be great.
You just have that feeling, right?
Yeah.
So we looked at a menu, and again, the kind of menu I think this group likes, right?
Yeah.
Simple, to the point. Here's what you get. It's cheap and get you some good food, right?
Yeah.
So there were sandwiches, such as a Philly cheesesteak, chicken Philly cheesesteak, right? There was a hot dog section. There was a chicken section, like wings and chicken sandwich.
Yep.
And then there was fish, too. So like fried, fish camp style fish.
Yep.
And then there were a couple of daily specials where you could get kind of combos of different things. They had a hot dog special that was 2 hot dogs, 5 wings, and a drink and fries or something like that. And then there was the Philly cheesesteak special and chicken cheesesteak special. Anyway, Michael, what'd you get?
I got, of course, got to give the people what they want, which is a good review, a sampling. I got, and Moose ordered first, so I kind of followed off. I didn't want to get exactly, but I got their Philly cheesesteak. I didn't even ask. I don't remember. I didn't pay attention to. I just said straight up. So I didn't special order or whatever came on it. And then I also ordered 10 wings. Just because I kind of went to this place with chicken on my mind. So I was like, well, I'm going to get some. So I got the wings. And
cost was good, right?
Yeah, it really, each of those individually was $7.
Yes.
So nothing to it. And the cheesesteak came with fries. And so when that came out, and he asked what we want, like what kind, he had a couple of different varieties of, I guess, sauce or seasoning for the wings. Barbecue, Memphis, lemon pepper, teriyaki, and then buffalo hot. I got the buffalo hot because, got to have that foundational. It's the best way to compare. And it did not come out like with a wet buffalo sauce on it. It was more of a seasoning, and it was not hot. So, I mean, I think if you were worried about it being hot, it wouldn't be. Yeah, it would not be the spicy hot. But it just had a really good flavor. It was almost like a very subtle, but very tasty buffalo kind of season. I guess he cooked it in this. I don't know. It was interesting. I don't even know how he did it.
I watched it. So, yeah.
It wasn't tossed after the fact.
Came out of the fryer. Yeah, it was. He squirted a little bit of whatever his seasoning
sauce.
was
Okay, yeah.
into the big pickle tub. And he squirted that in there, and so you could barely sit in there, but then he dumped the wings in and he shook it up.
Okay.
So then he poured it out on the plate.
Okay.
So it was a very small amount that he put in there.
That's what it was then, because it was not dripping. It was not overwhelming.
It was not sauced.
Wasn't sauced. Mm-hmm. Wasn't too. They were very good. They were. I don't like having a lot of breading or fry, so it wasn't any of that, and it has that little crisp to it. So, thumbs up for the wings for me. Yeah. Then the Philly cheesesteak we were talking about. Usually, you get an order of Philly cheesesteak, and it's just the basic. Here's the meat, the cheese, the peppers and onions. And this one also had on it, some tomato, a little mayo, some banana peppers, and then we were a little surprised it had a couple pickles on the top. But it was very good. It was like that little, and it were sweet pickles because it had that little bite of sweet. I don't know. It had also, the steak had a little seasoning to it. It wasn't just plain steak 'em, throw it on there and let the cheese be the flavor. Yeah. Mm-hmm. It was seasoned and really good. So I, of course, housed all of it except for the fry. I left some fries because if I don't watch my figure, who will? So, and then it was very simple on the drinks. He came by, he's like, "You want water?" Or I got some, Sunkist Pepsi, a canned soda. So,
and that came with our meal.
And it came with the meal.
Yeah.
So canned soda, and now all that. I mean,
yeah.
Like you said, we pulled up, and I thought, I don't know what we're getting into, but it's either going to be a really, really good or someplace we're not going to talk highly of, and I really enjoyed it.
That's right.
And John Boy was cool.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
He would definitely be a cool hang. We were, talking to him a little bit over the counter, and he was cooking and very friendly. So I enjoyed it.
Invited us back.
And I will go back. I'll go back. And I'll check out the other menu. I'd run back what I did today, which I know is a little excessive, but it was good.
It was. Moose, what'd you get?
Okay, well, first of all, big shout out to John Boy for hooking me up with like a bag of ice when I walked in there.
That's right.
I'm coming into his restaurant just getting with a hatchet wound on my face, and he hooks me up with a bag of ice and like just super nice. Like this guy, like first of all, I'm the one who gets out of the car and asks him. I'm like, "Hey, it's like your place open?" And he's just like, "Yeah, absolutely. Just come on in. Let's just do this." And it is cash only, so make sure you guys do have cash.
That sounds like that might change because he said cash only for now.
Yeah,
because I was going to mention that.
Yeah,
so be prepared. Yeah, you're not far if you have to go to a bank, but be prepared for that. But he also, when you say that, didn't it seem like if we showed up at like 3:30 and he was just kind of milling around, but the place was closed, that he would say, "Yeah, come on in. I'll cook." He totally seemed like he was that
honestly,
dude.
That might have been what happened today.
Yeah.
So his sign was off, and
it was after one.
It was after one. So like basically, he invited us in. Like Mary Moore said, we were the only 3 patrons in there, and it was like he invited us into his house. Like it was a really really cool experience. If you're looking for decor, this place isn't it. I mean, it's it looks like it's built in the 60s and 70s. It's pure brick. It's got a fresh coat of paint on it. it's. They're doing their thing. Couple old pool tables back there. You can imagine that people go there and hang out and chew the fat and play pool and eat food and stuff. But I had the chicken Philly, and basically the same thing like Manelli said. All the things that came on. It had lettuce, tomato, mayonnaise, cheese, peppers, chicken. Really good chicken. I'm telling you, the pickle on that sandwich set it off. It was just so good. I've never had a chicken Philly with sweet pickles on it, and it made me a believer. It was really good. Not to mention crinkle fries. I know me and McNally have been around about this, but crinkle fries are my favorite. And so honestly, like Boyz Cafe, going back probably like next week. Like, the place is so good, so close to the office, so we can just bebop over there, and it was. One of my favorite places that we've been so far, just because the fella's so nice, the food's so good. It just felt like it was just a
simple menu,
just
not a place you would think of, which is always fun when you find one that you're not a place you would drive by and think to go visit, not a place you've heard of, and then you enjoy it. Like I love that.
That's right.
Yeah,
That's
it was. I would definitely eat there again, no matter what. Mary Margaret, tell us about what you had.
Yeah, so I got the daily special, and it was a fish and chicken special, I guess. So it came with 2 pieces of fried fish and 5 wings. And I got the lemon pepper flavor wings. And then it had some crinkle fries and a drink. And that was all for $7.95, which is pretty crazy. It was an overflowing plate, if you will. I agree with the McNally. The wings were really just... good wings, I mean, there was nothing,
they were simple,
there was nothing flashy about them, but they were just right in the middle, and I'm the same way. That's exactly how I like them. I don't like mine saucy. I don't like mine with like the breading coat that comes on the outside. I like this how it was. It was simple. They were cooked just right. It was great. So I would definitely go in there and just order wings and like to go take those things home or something. I mean, that would be great. But the fish, I had the fish too. And, it was fish camp fish. It was fried, and it came with some ketchup and some ranch on the side, and it was good.
It seemed kind of fluffy, though. It didn't seem thin.
I have no idea. I mean...
but it wasn't thin.
Flounder. It looked like flounder filet.
Parts of it wasn't thin.
Oh, no.
It was fluffy.
It was like meaty.
Yeah.
Not too heavy on the breading, which, again, I like. It was crispy enough on the outside that it wasn't soggy, mushy, It was great. It was really good. So it was a really cool combo, 2 pieces of fish and 5 wings. It was really nice. And I thoroughly enjoyed it. We laughed, we sat there like it was, I don't know, it just kind of felt like that type of place. You could just kind of kick back and had a good little soundtrack going.
Oh, yeah, they did.
Oh, +1 for the music.
Thank you. That definitely added another half point to the grade I was already going to give it. I forgot 90s. Well, it was on a radio station. I don't know what radio station it was, but God bless it. It was 90s R&B, and
we sang a couple songs.
In my wheelhouse.
Yeah, we sang a couple songs. It was great. I did want to kind of go through a couple more things on the menu before we give our ratings, because I think people might enjoy some of this stuff, because some of this I already know what I might go back and try now. Ooh, yeah. So there's the fish section with the fish sandwich, and then fish platters and plates. In the burgers and subs section, there is a barbecue turkey burger. Moose.
I saw that.
Right? So turkey burger, that sounds good. There's a fully loaded turkey burger, turkey and cheese sub, hamburgers, fully loaded, plain, whatever you want. There's a hot dog section, getting them fully loaded. Tony Jackson loves him a hot dog from any dive joint, so this might have to be our next stop. And you can also get like the hot dog meal deal, as they call it, which is 2 hot dogs fully loaded with fries and a drink for $5. That's fantastic, right? Under chicken, there's hot wings. There's hot wing plates, which comes with fries, dipping sauce, drink, celery, chicken sandwiches, and a wing plate, which is 3 whole chicken wings. Okay, so you're getting the whole wing instead of just the flat or the
drumettes.
Mm-hmm. And then they go into desserts. He's got all kinds of cake slices, which I guarantee you are just whatever he happens to have that day.
Yeah.
So it says cake slices, brownies, peach cobblers, and banana pudding. Mm-hmm. I'll be trying that next. I told him that already.
Yeah,
As we were leaving, I was like, I'll get dessert next time. And then he's got a side section. And, I don't know if, I could totally just do a plate off of all this because he's got green beans, rice and gravy, mac and cheese, creamed corn, California blend, baked beans, fries, or chips. Done. Done and done.
No doubt.
So, yeah, I thought it was great. McNally, what do you rate it?
The sound, I had an 8 out of 10. The soundtrack gives it an 8.5 out of 10 for me.
It does.
Absolutely. Moose?
Well, full disclosure, the guy was just he was a genuine dude to me. He hooked me up. I'm giving him a 6.5 out of 7. Dude, just the 0.5 minus was just I can't give everybody a perfect score.
Well,
but,
and also I'm sure it's decor.
Great.
Like if you, I can imagine.
Yeah, it was
this place sticks around for. I don't even know how long it's been there.
I think it's been there a while. But I don't know.
If it was a different. I don't want to say decor because you don't want to take away from that's the feel of it.
Yeah.
But man,
you know what else we talked about really quick before I give my score is that McNally made a great point while we were sitting there eating.
Thank you.
Whatever.
One.
It was one
down. 2 years in.
1 point. The food when we received it was had wonderful seasoning on it.
Yeah.
All of it did. We didn't need salt and pepper or anything else to add to it. That stuff was cooked well and it was seasoned well. I mean, the flavor was there on everything we ate.
Yeah, those crinkle fries had Old Bay or something.
Yeah, some good seasoning. Yeah, man. So it was. So I love that. I love that in soul food too. I usually find that having lived in Charleston for a while, there were plenty of soul food places, and I always enjoyed that. And it touched my food. It had such a good flavor. And that's what I thought about this place.
Oh, for sure.
Well, and that's I didn't even think about the sandwich and what all was on there. I was halfway through before I even thought about
everything. It was great. It was great. I definitely was going to go with the 8 out of 10 for sure. And that's a high 8 I'm giving. It's a good solid spot. I'd really like to go back.
Yeah.
So
if you're looking for a place off the beaten path a little bit that you want to give a little love to, this place you need to go check out because it's one of a kind. It really is.
Yeah, this is again Boyz Cafe, located at 19 4th Avenue Southwest, and right off downtown Hickory.
Yeah.
Very
just
accessible.
behind the Mr. Tire, the old original Clark Tire.
Yeah. Great. I think. What a great day. McNally?
It was you and I had it. I got 100% of me still here, not 99.99998% of me like Moose.
Arms are gonna be fit. My stomach is full. I'm feeling good.
Axe throwing and John Boyz. I recommend it. That's a full day. That's a good Friday.
That was a damn good Friday. Axe throwing and John Boyz.
Yeah.
Moose, you just pipe down over there. McNally and I are just going to enjoy how much of a great day we had.
Well, John Boyz, it had the seasoning on there, so Moose probably would have enjoyed it a little more if he had it before the salt hit your lip.
It burns.
Yeah.
I was just pissed that I didn't get to eat the hot wings. There's no way I was going to put a hot wing on this thing.
No, you wouldn't have. I felt bad for you.
The last thing I did today.
Yeah.
So please follow along on our social media where you can see the pictures of Moose's mouth. I will not put the graphic ones. I will just put our group shots up there. I also have some nice shots of before, post slicing, if you or pre-slicing.
Yeah.
It was pre-slicing when we were all,
we started getting into a groove.
Stick. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Man, that felt good whenever it would stick in there. So
I did feel like a Viking warrior, someone out in the wilderness for survival, throwing axes. Moose, you were even talking about that. We were just out there for survival, killing animals.
Yeah.
Yep. And then you look like you had eaten a carcass with that blood hanging out of your mouth. Hey, have you ever seen that movie, The Patriot, with Mel Gibson?
I'm afraid I have.
Yeah. So, he carries that axe in his pocket. That's what he was known for.
He does.
Yeah. And they call him like the ghost, right?
Yep, I could totally be that now.
Totally could do that. Aim small, miss small. That's what he says in that movie. Theme for the day. Yes. Aim small, miss small.
Yeah.
Moose.
Yeah.
Anyway. All right. Well, do you guys have anything else to add?
I don't.
No,
I did. All things considering, I really had a great time today, guys. It was fun. Thanks for having me, and putting up with my shenanigans. But all things considered, y'all go check out Patriot, Brew, Thru, and axe throwing. That place is.
I'm going back.
Yeah, you need to.
Absolutely.
I'm probably going to go back. Like honestly, I'll probably go back too. So
Just wear a football helmet.
yeah.
Everybody else is fine. Just Moose is a little prone to.
You have that extended baseball helmet. The extended mouth guard of a baseball helmet. I got to wear that like
On your throwing side.
Yeah, on the throwing side. Mary Margaret thought it'd be funny if I came back with half my beard gone. She said that would have been even better.
Well, that just
would have been better than
blood. Totally. If it was just a quick shave, no big deal. No big deal. Well, I had a great time today, guys. So glad we could do this. I love these experience ones. These are fun.
Yeah, that's fun.
But we do have some shows already lined up for the next few weeks. So we're going to be pounding some out, and you'll be seeing some more content come through. As always, if you have any recommendations for us, any places you want us to check out or go see, by all means, shoot us an email at info@themesh.tv. We'll be happy to go give them a shout out in public. Absolutely. So until next time, guys, have a good weekend. Moose, get some
Get boring, bud.
Yeah.
Oh man, I might. Yeah, I just might.
Sounds great. All right. Until next time, say goodbye, boys.
Goodbye, boys.
Love where you live.
You've been listening to The Mesh, an online media network of shows and programs ranging from business to arts, sports to entertainment, music to community. All programs are available on the website as well as through iTunes and YouTube. Check us out online at themesh.tv. Discover other network shows and give us feedback on what you just heard.